At this point, we're going to take questions. Let's take your questions now.
Okay, someone is asking, will this sponsorship have age limits?
So it depends on the organization that is offering the funding. For instance, Africa Business Europe has no age limit. As a matter of fact, the current application season had someone in their 60s or so who applied and had minimum 18 years. So absolutely, I believe everybody here will qualify for such an to apply for the application. But others, some other ones have age limits, like some will have 18 to 30, some would be, as the case may be. So it depends on the particular organization.
Okay, so what's the question? Is there specific places for this sponsorship or it's all Africa?
Is there what?
Is there specific places for this sponsorship or it's all Africa? Isa Jama, can you specify what you're trying to ask? Okay, there's a very
places for this sponsorship. Yeah, again, it depends on the funder. So there are different funding organizations. So some of them are specific for a region. So you have funders that are specifically for South Africans. You have funders that are African-wide, like the Tony Elumelu Foundation is African-wide, the ABH Africa Business School is Africa-wide, and several other ones. And we have specific ones that are country-specific. So it just depends on the particular funding opportunity platform that you're applying to. There are lots of them out there. Someone is asking, does this sponsorship look for how old the business has been and what sort of businesses do they normally look for? Okay, I want to believe that you joined late because I mentioned that some funding look at business that are still in the ideation, that are still just ideas or still just starting. Some are looking for businesses that have been in business for minimum of 3 years or 5 years, as the case may be. And there are specific funding platforms, funding organizations that are niche-based or industry-based. So you have those that are specific for energy, renewable energy businesses. You have those for agriculture, as the case may be. So it depends on the particular funding organization you are reaching out to. So these things are not rigid. Each organization have their different criteria. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Most investors interested in big vision type of business idea? No, not investors that are interested in big vision may be specific about that criteria, but there are lots of investors that are looking for small scale businesses to invest in. There are investors that are looking for legacy-based businesses. There are investors that are interested in innovation-based businesses. So it depends on, again, it depends on the investor. Okay, more website to search for funding opportunities. Okay, if you are subscribed, you have to subscribe to our newsletter. We'll be sending some of that to our subscribers. How can and where can starters find funding? So, like I did mention, I think at the middle of this presentation that there are different stages that from funders fund businesses at different stages. There are idea stage funders, there are startup funders, there are growth funders. So it depends on the stage of your business. There are funders for different. As a matter of fact, this is a large industry. So it has different funders for different niches, different specialization and all of that. So it's not limited to any particular criteria. You just have to look for funders that its criteria meets your own interest. Okay.
Okay.
These seed funding supports for waste, there seed funding support from waste management, agribusiness, seed funding, I mean businesses that are still in idea stage. Very likely, there would be, but you have to look for them to find them. Can't think of one at this moment, but yeah, I'm sure there are mentors who support business starters on business plan writing. At this point, we are working on something, and in that regard, and when we are ready, we would reach out to you guys regarding that. Some help we can offer to businesses in helping them with the application and all of that. Of course, it's going to be a service, and it's going to be a paid service.
All right. Okay. Very important. So let's take note of that. So Adekunle asked a question, taking us back of it. He said,
Okay.
This is just to appreciate Kena for sharing knowledge with us. My worries are about Africans. How Africans, pardon me, could not trust each other. People steal other people's ideas in the process of seeking funding. We should just examine ourselves and behave well. And he said, sincerely appreciates.
Okay, thank you for the feedback. Thank you for the comment. Yeah, but what I would like to say regarding that is the ideas are virtually not worth much. Ideas by themselves are not worth that much. If you have an idea, your concern shouldn't really be about someone stealing your idea. What it takes to make a business successful is execution. And if someone can take an idea and execute it to be successful, then that means they deserve the idea in the first place. It's execution that matters. And what you should be concerned about is how to execute your business. And if the risk of your idea being stolen is something you have to deal with to get your idea out there or to seek funding, then by all means, you shouldn't worry too much about it. Because it is often said that the richest place on earth is the grave, where people go down with their ideas without sharing it with the world. So your concern should be that you get your idea out there, not on whether it gets stolen, because the world is what it is. And as a matter of fact, it's not easy for anybody to take an idea and make something out of it. It takes a lot more effort to execute, to make that idea a success. So shouldn't be much worried about your idea being stolen.
Do we have a partnership options? I have a farm with structure, or yet to kick off due to funding. I stay abroad.
Oh yeah, the purpose of this webinar is to give you some guideline on how to go about this. So you can take what you have gotten from this and then reach out to potential funders. United States Development Foundation offers funding for agri-businesses in Africa, and you have access to between $50,000 to $250,000 to invest in agri-business. So you have to reach out to apply for the program to take advantage of that. In fact, as we speak, the application is still open with deadline on 30th of this month. So you can still apply for it as we speak. Okay, do we take into consideration books of what?
Accounts for providing sponsorship.
I don't think I get that question.
Okay, maybe she's referring to the firm that provides the funds. If they will look at your account before giving you funds, something like that.
Yes, if that's the question, Vivian, yes, of course. Before someone wants to give you money, they want to know what you have been doing. They want to know how healthy your business is financially. So yeah, you will to, in a lot of cases, in most cases, you have to provide your financials, your financial record, and even a financial forecast. It's more like you give them the history of your business, how your business have done in the past, where your business is currently, and where you intend to take your business going forward. So that's something that is typical that you have to make available to a potential investor.
Yeah, that is very true. But in the case that you are making a break even, could you be considered? That is a very good point. But in the case that the business is doing a break even, could you consider that for the sponsorship?
That the business is not doing great today.
No, when the business is having break even in terms of profits.
You haven't broken even.
Yes.
Okay.
Would you consider giving out the sponsorship or not making enough profits?
Okay, so most funding opportunities or investors they are more concerned in the future prospect of your business, right? In fact, a lot of them are not so concerned about whether your business is even making profit at the time. ABH, Africa Business Hero, for instance, it's not necessarily important that you are making profits. You don't have to be making profits. You just have to prove that you have a viable business and that your business is solving a problem and that you have a clear path towards solving that problem and scaling solution to that problem, right? So in a situation like that, the concern is not whether your business has broken even or whether you are making profit. So these are the metrics they look at. The future, that's usually why they look for your future plan. And I mentioned that part. They want to know your future plan and your financial projection. So if they want to understand when you intend to start making profits. So a lot of applications will make provision for that in terms of your financial projection. They want to see, okay, in the next 2 years, 3 years, you expect to start making profit, and this is how you intend to get there. And this is how the fund you're requesting from them help you to get to that place of profit. So you should never be limited from applying to a funding program because you're not making profit or because you're broken even. That shouldn't be something to hold you back.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much as well. Can the discussion give practical steps for a business person who have been indebted from past business to be out of debt? Yes, that's the practical question he's asking. Ayomide is asking. Yes.
Well, there's no step at this point that will be generic about getting out of debt because your situation is ideal and unique to itself. First and foremost, what is the source of the debt? Who offered you the debt? What amount are we talking about? What was the debt used for? What is the stage of the business at the moment? There are a lot of factors at play. So it's not a direct something you can offer a direct or practical response to without having some much more detailed understanding of what is going on in the business and the parties involved.
Yeah. All right. I hope that answers your question, Ayomide.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, you have to get a understanding. This is something that has to be addressed on specific basis based on the current situation, the uniqueness of the situation your business is in. I mean, generally, if you are in debt, what you should be looking at is having a cash flow that balances, that can enable you to repay back your debt. I mean, that's typical. You should be able to have a source of repaying back your debt, whether directly or indirectly. So as a business, if your business is in debt and you have some businesses have had to take on further debt to repay debt. So if you have a debt that is expensive and you can get access to a cheaper debt that enables you to pay off the expensive debt, that can be a way to reduce the burden that you have so that you can have more time to repay the new debt you have acquired. So it works in different ways. And in another instance, it could just be about mapping out a marketing plan to increase your revenue so that you can earn more money to pay off your debt. And it can work in many ways. And in other case, depending on the parties involved, you can have to negotiate a pardon for the debt, a debt relief. And that could be the solution to your particular situation, considering the party involved. So that's why I said that you have to, it's something that has to be dealt with on your particular, based on a particular situation.
Thank you so much. Okay. Second, do you have a last word for them before we leave?
Yeah, that's it. And have a great day, guys.